need more coffee. Hey, how are you? How do I look? I got it? Still got it, right? Still got it. Got to pull up the chat. Hang on. Cool. All right. I think I'm ready to go. This is supposed to be Viking music. Can you believe a Viking would listen to this? I like raping, I like pillaging, and I like harp music. Uh-huh. What kind of Viking is that? Anyways, you ready to go, huh? You ready to go? Yeah, me too, baby, me too. It's going to be another great day. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades for The stock market, how about gold? How about oil? Dollar pairs, yen pairs, risk on, risk off. Oh, baby, I want to get with you and take your picture. Yeah, so much to do, so much going on. It's a great time to be alive. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Nice to see you. My name is Wayne. I like to trade, obviously. I like to invest. I like the asking the question of why is all this money moving the way it is? Like why are other market participants making decisions? Like what is making them make these decisions? And I think the more we understand that, the more that we can ride that wave. Because remember, if you're trading by yourself, you're trying to move the market, or you're trying to pick up pennies between the steamrollers, standing in front of a freight train, predicting that it can stop in time. Well, instead, I look at the market in two different ways. One, we're trying to ride the wave. So you have to understand the wind today. You have to understand the currents. You have to understand the tides. And you say, oh, head high, dude, head high. And you paddle out there. And you get in front of the waves and let the wave carry you. The other way, the other analogy I use for the markets is this idea of it being a symbiotic relationship. In my maturity, I've realized that trading is not a zero-sum game at all. It's a symbiotic relationship. And so it's a beautiful dance. It's a beautiful dance. Bulls and bears, bulls and bears. So we're trying to take all these concepts and put it together in a trade that we can make in the next few hours, the next few days, the next few weeks. We also want to look at the annual cycle of ebb and flow of capital, but we also want to look at the business cycle, which could be 8 to 12 years. Okay? And we have to put all this together and try to make money and in order to look to make people want to be us on Instagram. Look at me, I lease a Lambo. Anywho, so anyways, this is a complicated thing, but I can tell you, having done financial market trading and investing for 20-something years, and before that, I was a venture capitalist, and before that, I worked as a high-tech entrepreneur in the Silicon Valley. I love money. Money's good. Money's right. Money works. Money is the root of all good. Well, that's not completely true, is it? But I can tell you, if you're a good person, money provides you leverage. And you could be 10 times gooder if you had money. It's not the root of evil. It's just evil people with money you're observing. Anyways, whatever. Ask questions, get involved, click the thumbs up button, become a subscriber. And yeah, greatness will begin. I'd like to point you to some resources. All the links are in the description below. Swing on by tradersway.com. You need a broker. This is the broker I recommend. There are many brokers like it, but this one is mine. Oh, you can't see. Sorry. You can't see. There you go. There are many brokers, right? But this one's mine. Look, honestly, I think they're good. You should try them up. Yeah. Look, they have all the benefits that you're probably looking for. Fast, cheap, all that kind of stuff. Good customer service. Yep. But on top of all of that, this one is one that I recommend. Okay? And it's their behavior and their business model, both of which I believe to be ethical, right? Look, if you want to learn how to trade, go to Investor Bootcamp. This is a company I've been running for 20 years. It's legit. It's good. It's 88 bucks. I'm not trying to buy a yellow Lamborghini with your money. This used to be $1,000 a year. It's worth $1,000, and I'm not joking. That's my sales pitch. If you want to learn how to trade, okay, this is the community. 88 bucks. You're going to learn how to trade properly. Like 100 hours worth of training for a lousy 88 bucks. InvestorBootcamp.com. Now, I believe for you to go from an amateur trader to a retail trader to one that trades much more professionally, let's say, you need to find a way to get big. Now, if you're a hedge fund manager, you're going to have a quantitative analyst working for you or a PhD. You're going to have to pay them $300,000 a year to give you deep data. Or you can just pay $80 a month and have my AI work for you. Which one do you want to do? Either way, you're going to make, let's say, better or more informed investment decisions, and you'll have the confidence to let your winners run. What's that worth? 80 bucks? Yes. Okay. So QuantBox is something I started. I showed pictures yesterday. I started something similar in 2006. This is yet another iteration of me trying to gather macroeconomic data to make more informed decisions for investing and in trading, long-term, medium-term, and short-term data, pulling information directly out of government websites like, let's say, the Federal Reserve or the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. This is where we get our data. We analyze it, we organize it so that you can make a better decision like, okay, based on GDP, based on inflation, based on unemployment, based on interest rates, based on institutional positioning, based on retail positioning, based on 20 years of seasonal analysis, based on technical analysis. Should I be long or short? Short. Doesn't mean you sell that day, but it means when you look at the long-term economics, what makes logical sense, intelligence, like 20 years of seasonal data, which says, in this particular month, does this particular asset tend to go up or down? Wouldn't it be cool if you knew the particular asset you want to trade? Wouldn't it be cool if you knew that in the month of August, it typically, let's say 8 out of 10 times falls? Wouldn't that be nice to know in advance? Yes, because you can prepare and be ready. That's the type of information QuantBox offers. So anyways, try that. And then I have a new service for you because that helps you with your macroeconomics. It automates it using, cutting edge technology, right? Look at this. It's a little prettier too, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, check this out. By the way, I need some testimonials. Please email me, wayne@fxbootcamp.com, if you've used tradeplans.ai. Not a sales pitch. I don't need you can't trade without that. No, just tell me, do you love it? Okay. Email me, wayne@fxbootcamp, and I'll put you here in the templates. Okay. But anyways, here's what you do. You fill out this form, and you instantly, dude, I'm serious. I say 3 seconds. It's faster than that. You will instantly have in your email, privately to your email, no one sees it. It doesn't get posted to the website. No, nothing. In a private email, you'll instantly receive feedback on your trade plan. Short-term, medium-term, long-term, instantly. Boom. And you'll see, you can contrast and compare before you actually make a trade. You can just get a second opinion, a second look. Someone looking over your shoulder before you take a trade. Try it. Look, we have the stock market, we have Forex, we have crypto. Okay, so step one, your chart that you upload gets anonymously shared with the community. Your name is not on it. Your account's not on it. Like, it's completely anonymous. And you get feedback from humans. Oh, weird. Do they have the step one and step two the same? All right. I have to read this. I have to go through this today. So anyways, you also get the AI feedback. So imagine just like very quickly, you have AI feedback and you have human feedback. And then as it's happening, it's learning from everybody. Okay? So anyways, try it, tradeplans.ai. I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on this. Many thousands of dollars. I want you to use it. Right now it's free. How long is that going to last? I don't know. But I'll show you, like, when you log in, here's somebody's trade plan, and you can vote. How funny. I keep yelling at the developers, this is not what I asked for. How funny is that? This is like the fourth time I've told them what I want. Anyways, so that's very unclear about voting. But anyways, you can look at that, think about it. And by the way, what an amazing tool for learning. You look at other people's trades. Remember, you don't know who it is. And you consider what their trade plan is and you're supposed to vote whether you agree or not agree. And that gets put into your history. And you can see 5 people with this trade plan I made. 5 people agreed with the trade plan. Okay? So you're gathering human intelligence. Meanwhile, you already know the feedback from the AI. It's really, truly amazing. And then lastly, and here's a shameless plug, but I have spent a lot of money and I've spent 100 hours and I've spent a lot of money having this built by my team in Hong Kong. If you share the vision with me, would you chip in a little bit? I'm trying to raise 10 grand to put toward this project so that I'm not bleeding so much money. Bleeding and bleeding. It cost me a lot of money just to run it. Every time you post a trade plan, it actually costs me money because the AI is actually thinking and Amazon charges me per thought, if you want to think about it. So anyways, I call it the Aiden project because the AI I've named Aiden. So Aiden gives you feedback. Aiden is the one, not me. Aiden's the one that is reading your trade plans and providing you feedback, private feedback between you and Aiden. So anyways, I put a little donation there. So if you want to contribute and help me get some of my money back, I'd appreciate it. Shows me that I'll keep investing into the project because I have some really cool, amazing things I need to develop next. One of them is Aiden can help you manage the trade after you've made the trade. Greg says, how do you upload it? Right here. When you're logged in too, you can do it this way. Add a trade plan. Okay, what asset you want to trade? I'll get rid of these. There's too many of them. Okay, you want to trade USD yen. Are you a buyer or seller? Okay, enter in your price, your target, and your stop. That's funny, short. Okay, see, I have to keep spending money. I'm going to fix that. And then add your image. Okay, submit. Now, if you don't know how to do a screenshot, this is what you do. It's built into Windows. Okay, in Windows, you just type in snip and you get the snipping tool. So that's what you do. So I'll show you. Okay, so here's the trade plan. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so you go snip. Okay, there's the image. Save the image. Save. And now you can post it. Okay. Yeah, Heather, I will. Okay. Super easy, easy peasy. All right, so let's move on. Let's start with oil. So here's my trade plan. It was up yesterday. I wanted to come down, so I bought it. And the trade plan is take it north through 80 and maybe higher. And so the trade plan for today is take it down to 79.06. Why don't we just call it 79? And take it up to 80. So maybe we hit target. I think we're going to hit conservative target. But what I'm really hoping for is this by the end of the week. Okay. Cool, right? Oh, you know what? I didn't finish my thought. I wanted to share that last thought with Aiden. Okay, if you share my vision for Aiden and you help pay for it, right? You chip into it, right? Guess what I'm going to build in the near future? Aiden's going to watch your trade. Okay? Think about what I'm doing here. Right now, you post a trade and gives you feedback. If you share the same vision and you help me pay for it, because it's just development work, right? I mean, it's just time, and time's money. Aiden will be able to watch your trade, and imagine if it could send you a text message to say, hey, Greg, I recommend you move your stop 15 pips to this price. Four, 5, 6, 10 hours goes by. Another text message to your phone. Hey, Greg, your trade's working out. I suggest you move your stop 28 pips to this price. Then the next morning, you get a text message. Hey, Greg, congratulations on that successful trade. You hit target. Bravo. What if I pay Aiden, because really that's what it is, I pay Aiden to watch your trades 24 hours a day. Now imagine it's watching 1,000 trades at the same time, but having personal communication and conversation with you and everybody else. Private, personal conversations about thousands of trades and not shared publicly, not posted anywhere, all just private conversations about specific trades, and it's watching it candle by candle, move your stop a little more, lock in some more profit, Osamu, lock in some more profit, Adam. Like, oh my God. So if you share that vision, man, like chip in, help me out. Let's do it together. I mean, legit, right? That's right, Ojo. That hasn't been developed yet. So, yeah. Thank you, Denise. James is like, hey, man, you're moving it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Ojo, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's just money. I mean, right? It's just money. That's the only thing that's holding us back from doing like incredibly amazing things, right? With better information and better skills, money is the easiest part of things. Time is what we can't cheat. Time we can't make. We can't make up time. So all we can do is buy time and buy back time. So this is why I say, like, for newer traders that are just starting to find success in their trading, they're like, man, this is turning out to be a real business. You need to start automating everything. Automate, automate, automate. You need to act like you're a big hedge fund, but be lean and mean. Like, to have a quant working for you for $80 or $800 a year is just insane. And now you have typically a quant would be like an associate, right? So QuantBox is like your associate. Aiden at TradePlans.ai is like your analyst. Do you understand? So you're a portfolio manager, managing money, making big decisions, and you need feedback about global macroeconomics in nearly real time, and you need a technician to look and analyze opportunities in near real time. I mean, you need a team. If you're going to get big, you got to act like you're managing $1 billion, even though you only got a small account. You still are competing with the team that has billions. So, like, for this pittance of money, you can be big. It's an amazing time to be an entrepreneur. Daniel says, so is that the future for AI for traders? Well, it's not the future, it's now. And will AI like just trade kind of thing? Well, here's the problem. AI doesn't actually think. Now, I will build a neural network for sure, but ultimately what happens is it's the same thing that happens to a human, where then you start making all your decisions on the past, but everyone else is making all the decisions based on the past. And therefore, look, in game theory tells you that if you know the last move, you will make a move before the last move that would benefit you. But then the competitor, if they know that you know the last move, then they can anticipate you're going to adjust your second last move. So therefore, they'll change their strategy for the move before your last move. So now their second last move has changed because they anticipate that you know the last move, and you'll adjust your move, so they'll adjust their second last move, which now you know that they're likely to do that strategically. So now, and so what happens is, well, you know, it always, there's going to be some sort of gamification here, right? So the answer is, like, not now. I don't know how far out into the future you're thinking, but right now, you know, these machines, they don't necessarily think for you, but they can work for you. You see, Daniel? Do you want robots working in the car factory? Yeah, probably. The robot puts the door on the car and then goes bzz, 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 welds it perfectly every time. Cool. Okay. So do you want robots working for you? Do you want machines? Do you want technology working for you to do really like complicated tasks, but offering you simple results? Meaning, like, dude, macroeconomics is complicated. So why not have a robot do it for you? And if you don't, and you're like, but I don't like robots, then hire a human to do it. And you're like, but Wayne, it'll cost me $75,000 a year to get a technical analyst working on my team. Well, then pay me $800 a year and I'll give you the same thing. Right? So you're like, oh, well, that's Yeah, it's a viable alternative. Okay. Okay. So anyways, yeah. All right, so let's move on to .com. What do you guys want to do next? Let me ask you. Let's do a poll. Let's do... What's the next asset? All right, let's do XAU. Oops, not XAUI. Let's do Bitcoin. Let's do Mexican peso. I'm just going to mix it up here. S&P500. Okay, let's mix it up. Yeah, Daniel, I don't know if I gave you a great answer, but it's just more like, think of it this way. You're running a small business and it's in a competitive market. And many of the market participants, if not most, are significantly bigger with you. They have an office in a skyscraper. They have teams of people that make, anywhere between $75,000 and $750,000 a year. They have PhDs. They have 20 years of experience, like almost nearly unlimited resources, and you compete with them. You do. So how can you get closer? How can you level the playing field a little bit? Well, like QuantBox, for example, the pro subscription is $800 a year. And dude, you can't imagine, how much I've spent, right? For $800 a year, it gives you the same information as a quant working for you. That would cost you $250,000 to $450,000 a year. And now for $800 a year, you have something that mimics that person. Is it the same? No, because you can't, right? But it's not going to steal printer paper while no one's looking, right? Like, it's pretty gosh darn close. So you're like, what do you want to spend? $500,000 a year or $800 a year? Well, now you can get the similar information in a big way. Or you can pay for a Bloomberg terminal and then learn macroeconomics and then learn how to use Bloomberg terminal. But you still have this huge learning curve that you go through, and that means money, because time is money, and that takes time. But Bloomberg is over $1,000 a month. I'm talking about less than $1,000 a year. It's 8% the cost. 8% of the cost of a Bloomberg terminal, right? It's like, dude, why would you not? The only reason is I got no money, or I don't believe fundamentals are real, which is funny because a lot of people say that. They're like, I don't believe in it. They're not real. I'm like, what does that even mean? Okay. You see what I mean? So anyways, I build these tools. I need them. I want them for me. You should use them too, is my message. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's end the poll. We got enough votes. Thank you for voting. And we'll do some gold. XAU, baby. XAU. All right. So the trade plan that we have is based on a change, a projected change in trend. So what we talked about 3 weeks ago was sometime this week the trend will change. That's what we talked about 3 weeks ago, let's say. Okay? So then we've gotten to this point where we had 100% pullback. Actually, let me draw that slightly different to make that point. Okay, we had this drop, then 100% pullback, 100% pullback of the 100% pullback, which we call consolidation, right? So the next step that we were projecting was for this week there would be a breakout. So there was a breakout. So we call that a higher low, or sorry, higher high. The next step is to project a higher low. And so I did there based on the central pivot point, and I bought it there, and the target, well, it was here, so it went higher than my target. So what I'm projecting that as a higher high. I know there's a big resistance there. I know there's a big resistance, but my trade plan is to, let's say, take it back to 2,000. All right. So anyway, so I got to survive this, and I'm hoping today is an up day. Okay. But I've already moved my stop to break even, so I can't lose money on that. But, right, so there's this big move, the consolidation, breakout, pullback, long and gone. Does anybody know the secret word? Hammock. Thank you. So Richard is digesting strong form and weak form of efficient market hypotheses. Yeah. So anyway, so there's my gold. So to zoom in here, my buy zone is really this, I'd like this to be, I'd like to fall no more than 1906, or should I say 1905.97 and a half. I like to be accurate to the half of a penny. But really, it's the now price that I would prefer. Meaning, what I would like to see is this in the next couple of hours. That's what I would prefer. Oh, Frank, yeah, makes a good point. In South Africa, well, I don't believe it's all South Africa, right? But they believe fundamentals is a Forex calendar, which of course it is not. That is news. Okay. Cool. Ooh, no, my WTI. Yeah, a little bit of risk off happening, stock market. Yep. Okay, that's normal this time of year. Okay, so we did gold. Let's do another one. New poll, everybody. New poll. What's the next asset? Question mark. Let's do euro, Great British Pound, Canadian dollar, and we'll do Kiwi. Let's do the Kiwi. Let's do the Kiwi again. Yeah, you know, the classic example of technicals versus fundamentals, as you guys all know, because I name drop all the time, but you know you would too. I worked with George Soros. And George Soros never looked at a chart to make a decision, ever. Okay? And he doesn't lease his Rolls Royce. And I was hanging out with, not with him on one day, but I was hanging out with a couple of people that also know him, you know, friends, let's say, which means they're 100 years older than me. But this was, when was I doing this? 1997. No, 1990. 1995? No. 1996. So I was hanging out with George Soros' friends, a couple of buddies, in Switzerland in 1996. And I shows you how young I was and the world I came from. But I was shocked they drank champagne. They were drinking champagne during the day. And it was, I don't know, May? Not New Year's Eve. I thought champagne was for New Year's Eve. And of course, I probably had never even had champagne, yet alone, like, my family didn't have champagne at New Year's Eve, but that's when I knew you bring out a bottle, you know, and you have champagne. Big fella, like, oh, he's a monster. Oh my God, there's tons of monsters. He's the least of the monsters. But anyways, yeah, and I'm like, wow, people drink champagne on a normal basis? Yeah. But he never used a chart to make a decision. So this idea that people think, you know, fundamentals are stupid and it's all in price, that just doesn't make any sense. Emerald says, I was a little kid in 1996. Yeah, so was I. I mean, I was 20-something, but, you know, yeah, still. Well, big fella, he says he's the worst. Whatever. Why don't you talk to him? Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, so many people have opinions, and you're fine to have an opinion, but you know, the classic one that always drives me nuts is there's tons of people that love Trump and tons of people that hate Trump. And I'm like, have you read his book? No. Oh. How come? Like, what do you know about him? Nothing. Yeah, talk to him. But whatever. It's just so funny that, you know, so many people have so much passion and yet are, and I'm not saying you should love him or hate him. I'm just like, you should know a lot and not just what he said or she said or what Fox thinks or what CNN thinks or whatever thinks. You should be informed to make your own decisions. And people get, then you're getting upset at me. You're like, well, I already know these things. How dare you preach them? It's just like, dude, do you know things that he doesn't eat lunch because it's a waste of time? Never has. He thinks lunch is for executives that are just wasting the company money and want to, you know, have hour-and-a-half lunches at fancy restaurants instead of providing value to their customers. I'm like, really? Yeah. He doesn't eat lunch because it's a waste of time. Do you know he's never drank alcohol? I think he has a brother or cousin or something that was an alcoholic. And his brother said, don't you ever drink alcohol. And he hasn't. I'm like, wow, dude, that's actually kind of interesting, you know? But he's a monster too. Yeah, they're all monsters, right, big fella? Yeah, but like, all I care about is what are you going to do about it, right? So make a bunch of money trading Forex, start a charity, and you know, whatever. So it's like saving money. I don't care how much money you save. I just care that you save money and you start building positive habits. Okay, so we're going to do euro. Which euro should we do? Let's go down here and pick a euro. Okay. How do you break the Bank of England? Super easy. Super easy. And this is where I believe, you know, look, I've never read a George Soros book, so I can just tell you what I know. People, I think, believe he's a monster because he does things like break the Bank of England. So he must be evil, and he must be corrupt, and he must be a capitalist big dog that would, you know, foreclose on a orphanage if he could make money, or sell his mother to a circus to make cash. That's a gross level of ignorance, but I think that's where a lot of it comes from. And it just screams ignorance. Like, you just, wow, you don't know what's going on. So someone else has pumped out this opinion and then people have read it. So I don't know. I'm not talking about whoever was sharing their opinion. I'm not talking about them, but I think that's where it comes from. Like Big Fella, right? I'm not saying that's where Big Fella's point of view comes from. I don't know where his point of view. You can have your point of view. It's perfectly fine. But I think a lot of people get their opinions from other people, and it turns out those other people don't really have a clue of what's going on, or there's a secret agenda in that opinion. So I don't know. I'm not saying that. So let me tell you my point of view. George Soros came from, you know, grew up in a period of a collapsing government, collapsing economy, collapsing central bank, collapsing currency, and he's seen it all before under the worst circumstances. And he believes in capitalism. You have to get that. He's seen what socialism and communism and what's the ism? Totalitarianism, all this kind of stuff. He's seen it before. He's a capitalist at heart. If you don't get that, then we cannot continue the conversation. But you have to understand he wants the system to work because he's seen the other system and it's hell. Okay? Great. So now we have our foundation of conversation. So why would he do things like break the Bank of England? Well, he understands that capitalism is the best that we know currently for a system of organizing society. The second thing is he knows our form of capitalism is flawed and that it's evolving over time and will mature. And it'll get better. And we can fix some, or at least manage some of the flaws that are inherent in the system. But it's the best system. So when we get to a point where, like Europe, for example, is, oh, we should all get together and we should all use the same currency and it will be all harmonic. We'll live like a commune with all the same everything and everything will be equal. But you don't want everything to be equal. But anyways, they come up with this rule, and that the UK was going to kill the pound, a former reserve currency. Gee whiz, right? And convert everything, and they will use euro. So, you might have an opinion on that. Maybe you don't. But here's the thing. Here's where George Soros gets involved. The Bank of England now must meet guidelines that are required to enter in this European Union and the use of the euro. There are written guidelines. You must have, checkbox A, checkbox B, C, D, E, F, G. And he's sitting there like, oh my God, do you understand that everybody now knows what the Bank of England has to do? They're like, dude, this is an obvious flaw. Also, he may have disagreed with the idea of the pound entering the EU. So now let's do two things. Step back. He might have said, as an economist and as an investor and as a trader, giving up the pound to use the euro is a bad idea. Maybe we should prevent this. Remember, one guy on the planet prevented England from entering the EU currency system, the euro currency. He might have said, that's actually really bad for the UK. So he stopped it. Many people should thank him if they agree with that. Think about it. One person stopped an obvious train wreck. But second of all, if you know what the Bank of England is going to do before they do it, wouldn't you ride that wave? Like, isn't that a flaw to here's all the things we're going to do? So he might have said, well, dude, if you tell everybody, you're not playing the game right. And he might have looked at that and said, well, that's the flaw, and he wants to stop the pound from dying. He wants to save the pound. How am I going to save the pound? George Soros says to himself. Oh, well, the Bank of England told us all their moves, so if I know what the Bank of England's going to do, I can do it in front of them. I can front run the Bank of England, and I can use leverage. Bank of England can't use leverage. So he sets out, I am going to save the pound. And so he front runs the Bank of England with leverage. Because he knows what they're going to do before they do it. So why would you not do that? Why would you not make $1 billion in a day and save the pound? He could have been a guy that, let's say, could have prevented Brexit. Maybe Brexit was a bad idea, and the politicians were not smart enough to stop it. I'm not saying it's bad. That's not for me. I'm not a British citizen. That was for the UK to figure out for themselves. But imagine it was a shit show of an idea. He would have, if he had disagreed, would have tried to stop it. Does it make it evil? I don't know. It's not, again. Okay, so my understanding of, and by the way, he's done this in other economies. Maybe it's an economy close to you and it hurt you or your family and you're like, oh my God, he's evil. From that point of view, it would be. And if you hate the idea that the UK still has a pound and the UK should have a euro, then you're going to say he's evil. I don't like the language. You mean you don't like what he did, so he's evil? Like what, the devil sent him? Like, dude, come on. Okay? So, like another example that might make you think he's evil, I know people who know people who know people who know people. Let's just say it that way. And I believe he was buying North Korean gold. Lots of it. Secretly and potentially illegally. He's evil, right? Working with the North Korean regime. Where do I get this information? Don't ask me. Okay. Okay. All right, now I have to interject, by the way. Big fella says he only cares about him and no one else. You don't know him. I don't think that's a valid opinion. You don't know him, so you can't say that. Now you're just making statements. Okay? But I'm not saying he's a hero either. But you're like, you don't know him. He only cares. Dude, now that's a gross reach. Okay? But anyway, so let's say he was buying this gold from North Korea, why does that not make him evil? How about this? Because he knows that the way that the world governments are handling North Korea, we are not getting to a solution. They're going to keep building weapons and then negotiating from the point of, if you don't want us to build nuclear weapons, then you have to talk to us. But this is the slow and cheap way, and it's not very effective. It's been 25 years, and at least since North Korea has become a problem. But there's no solution coming, right? But so he realized they make nothing. They have no productivity, okay? And they're completely isolated, living off the handouts from China. But they have this gold, and the government keeps selling this gold, right? They keep selling this gold, and the government can buy Rolls Royces and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the people starve in the villages. But he knows they only have so much gold. It's not even their gold, right? But they have gold. So you can't sell the gold in the open market at $2,000 an ounce, but maybe he buys it, I don't know, I'll make up a number, $800 an ounce. They don't care because they just want to buy a bunch of Rolls Royces and they drive around in Rolls Royces, right? Well, their people starve. But he knows if he buys up all the gold, when they run out of gold, they have no hard currency, no hard assets, and now they're incredibly vulnerable because they have nothing real, nothing tangible. And China's not going to give them nukes, and Iran's not going to give them nukes for free. So he's like, dude, I'm going to bankrupt the people in power and topple the government through, let's say, I don't know, revolution or starvation or something. Now, there's a huge negative human consequence to that, but it is a solution to a global problem in which they can build nukes and nuke somebody, or build nukes and sell the nukes to somebody else who could nuke us. It's just a rogue state, and we don't want to solve it. And this is his contribution, bankrupting it. Is it because he's evil and he wants a bunch of cheap gold so he can get a Rolls Royce? No, dude. Okay? But he's playing the game in a non-governmental fashion like a capitalist would. So, but be careful with the language of he's a monster. Is he a monster? Well, I don't know. Okay? But before you form these opinions, you should know. Now, is there negative consequences to his actions? Yes. I didn't say he was a hero, and I never said he was a savior. But if he decides through careful analysis he believes the pound should be saved, then he did something about it. And that's what freedom and capitalism is about. And he earned $1 billion. Why? He saved the pound. Milos. Anyways, so we'll have to get together for a cocktail somewhere. You know, Milos is like, capitalism can never be a solution to organizing a society. Well, That's not capitalism. Oh, dude, a hawk just landed on my fence. Very cool. Capitalism is not a means of organizing a society. It's an economic system. Big fella says, yeah, well, I'm not sold. That's fine, dude. That's fine. But like I said, to people that hate Trump or even love Trump, I'm like, have you read his book? I've never met anyone that actually read his book, but they're very opinionated in so many ways. Yeah. All right, so let's get on with this. I would like this to turn north soon. I don't know if it will, but this is what I'm thinking over the next 5 weeks. Okay. So anyways, going back to Milos's point, capitalism is a form of an economic system. Democracy is the organization of society. China is communist. Cuba is communist. China is capitalist. Cuba is socialist. You have to make the distinction. China, being communist and capitalist, is filthy, stinking rich. Cuba, being communist and socialist, is filthy, stinking poor. They're both communist. The difference is socialism versus capitalism. Okay? And then there are degrees. So if you look at Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the United States, the UK, let's say the Dutch, France, and Germany, and Greece. Okay? Wow. They're all capitalist, they're all democratic, but they're all different. Every single one of them. It's how capitalist. And then there's different forms of democracy. Canada and the United States use the same, Canada and the UK use the same parliamentary system. And the United States uses something different, but all three of those countries are democratic. Okay? So anyways. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, of course. U.S. rate increases. Yeah. Will they impact the economy? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, for those that believe we're going into recession soon, and that could be the case, then you still want this and this for next month. I'm hoping that we get some risk on before a recession. And so that's what I'm hoping for next month. But, I don't know. Yeah, anywho. Okay. La, 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 la. Little look here. I thought we'd have a consolidation and breakout. We had the breakout first, so now we got to consolidate and then maybe work our way up. Now, when you're looking at Euro Aussie, our challenge here, okay, is that this is short-term up, but longer-term down. And one of them, of course, is wrong. So you're going to have to filter that. Is there any way that we can filter that? we could go to cross pairs and look at Euro Aussie. What? Yeah, shut the back door. McBride says, hey, how do you identify whether it's risk on or risk off? Again, ridiculously easy. If you don't know how to do it, I already built a tool that'll automate it. Okay? But anyways, according to seasonality, between June and October, really June and September, this asset tends to go up. Okay? Comparing the Euro economy with the Australian economy, 2% GDP versus 3%. Inflation, whoa, okay, it's falling, but it's falling much faster in Australia. Unemployment, look at unemployment. Wow, definitely favors Australia there. Holy smokes. Europe is at 6.4. Australia is at 3.7, right? But starting to tick up here. Interest rate differential, okay. Okay, Euro's raising, Australia is not. Slight carry, but not a big one. Institutional investors, 76% are long Euro. And 64% or short Aussie. Okay, think of it. Long, short. Long, short. And yet retail's going exactly the wrong way. Okay? Take a look at Euro Aussie. We see that retail traders are 29% long and 71% short. We consider this information most useful when a market is at an extreme reading from retail traders. If the retail crowd is 60% or more positioned on one side, we get a +1 or a -1. Currently, the Euro Aussie gets a reading of +1 in this category. Remember, if the retail crowd is very long, we look to short, and vice versa. Well, they're heavily short, so we want to look to be long. So we take all this data, we score it up. Interest rates favor Euro. Unemployment favor Australia. Inflation favors Australia. GDP favors Europe. Technical trend strongly favors Europe. Seasonality favors Europe. Retail sentiment favors Europe. Commitment of Traders Report, which is institutional positioning, favors Euro. For a score of 6, look to get long buying dips. Now, projecting where we are now, we're at 168.27. 7-day projection gets us back to 170. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we stay around this 168, 168 area. Okay, base case we're going to 169. Best case we're going to 170. 7-day projection in the future. Oh my gourd. Oh, I didn't answer the next question. Okay, so that's how do you plan on that one? And then somebody else, how do you do risk on, risk off? Okay. And if you don't know how to do the analysis, QuantBox just does it for you. Monthly, weekly, daily. Okay? Day trading, swing trading, position trading. Okay? It tells you what to buy, what to sell, and why. So look, VIX has dropped 14% over the last week. That is very bullish. Okay? Yields coming down on the 10-year T-note, bullish. S&P 500 up for the week, bullish, bullish, bullish. Well, slightly bullish. Anyways. So that's how you do it. If you don't know how to do it. Now, everyone that's a member of Investor Bootcamp has done the training course and they know how to do it, and they know what to do when you recognize it. Okay? But if you don't know how to do it, you just pay money. Yes, it does, Wolf. Global stock indices, S&P 500, there's the Dow. It's got FTSE, the DAX, the Nikkei. Okay? Neutral. So anyways, yep, got to know these things or you'll get run over like a freight train. All right. So anyways, so you might say, based on all that information that QuantBox just showed you on Euro Aussie, you might say you're thinking that this move here is wrong. Not wrong, but not going to last. And instead, this is a level of support. You're going to get an up, and then this is your plan for next week. So you should already be planning next week. I have a group called the Swing Trading Group. All live groups are a member of this group. We meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We are meeting today. I believe today is a Thursday. We are meeting today to do technical analysis to plan all of next week. Today at 4 p.m. at the close of trading, we are planning, not tomorrow, all of next week. And we might do something like this as an example. And if you're not planning next week, if you get run over, it's going to be one of us that runs you over. And you can't be, we're not evil. We just have a better plan and a better strategy. So again, I'm not George Soros's buddy. He doesn't invite me over for, on Austrian Independence Day or something. Okay? But he made $1 billion because he had a really good strategy based on fundamentals. He knew what the Bank of England was going to do. Let's just say he had no other intention than making money. He knew what the Bank of England was going to do, so he front ran the Bank of England. And he was smart enough to make $1 billion while everybody watched. Okay? So whatever. So if investor boot campers are planning next week and we're informed and we have better strategies, better trade plans, better setups, if that makes us evil, well, that's your point of view. And I would probably understand it. Yeah, Meta, I would go with that. I like that, Meta. Meta says the point is, what do you do after you make your money? That's right. And, I don't know about that, I suppose. Yeah, what does he spend his money on? I don't know. But the other people with different opinions never said that. They're like, well, he's anti this or anti that, Oh, George Soros is anti-Semitic. I'm like, really? I didn't know that about him. Maybe. I don't know him from that point of view. I'm a businessman. I don't know. I don't know these other side things. I don't know if he hates dogs or something like, oh my God, he's a dog. He hates dogs. He's a cat lover. He's evil. I don't know. But I do like that point, right? Okay. Okay. Well, big fella, you should do the best you possibly can to impact society in a good way. I support that, and I believe that that's the point you're trying to make, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for that. So now you need to make money in Forex, okay, so that you can fund your program of good and love. Okay? Is that fair? Yeah, it could be. But like you have a different point of view of me, but you have a different life experience than me. Like I don't think like because he made a lot of money, he made it through corruption. I don't live in that society, but that probably makes a ton of sense from your point of view, which makes fine, right? All right. So yeah, so big fella's going to make a lot of money trading Forex and fund all his programs to positively impact society from his point of view. But that means you're taking money from people that made losing trades. Whoa. So be careful. Now you might become evil. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know we're having an intelligent conversation. We can disagree, which is perfectly fine. Yeah. I want to learn from you as much as I can. Yeah. But anyways, there you go. I also know Socrates, so I studied, because I thought I was going to be a law student for a while, so I studied Socrates, and I used to study Socratic method of dialogue, and in fact, I used to do it for fun. I remember when I still lived in San Francisco, when it was beautiful, by the way, I lived near a cafe where I'd just sit and read Socrates in the warm sunshine, because it was very often cold in San Francisco, near the library. I used to live right next to the library, but there was a cafe there that was kind of nice. Yeah, next to United Nations Plaza. I'd sit there and read Socrates. I'm like, what a jerk. But anyways, Socrates got murdered because he would use his method of dialogue, and eventually through logic and just asking questions, he'd get people to contradict themselves. Like George Soros is evil because he made a lot of money by taking it from many people. And then someone else wants to do good, big fella, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He wants to do good in the world, so he's going to make a lot of money trading Forex, which is a zero-sum game, so he's going to make a lot of money by taking money from a lot of other people, and now big fella's evil. And all of a sudden, big fella's like, wait, I'm not evil. No, right? No, you probably are not. And you probably have good intentions, and I hope you do make a lot of money and do the world good, but it's a contradiction. And then they ended up poisoning Socrates with hemlock, by the way. And so, you got to be careful. So anyways, so this is how I got to this trade plan, by the way, on Euro Aussie. It's the same trade plan from a month ago. Okay. A month ago, we had this trade plan, guys. So it's not like I'm just waking up now going, what do I do today on Euro Aussie? I've already analyzed 20 years of data. I've already made an opinion. I already have a projection. This is already done. So I'm deciding at what point, is this the right price to buy? And is this the right time to buy? Do I buy the 5-8 cross or do I sell the 21.55? Yeah, good questions. But if you don't ask those questions, then forget about it, right? Okay. Now, Daniel says, didn't you say it's a symbiotic relationship? It is, but where do you make your money, though, ultimately, Daniel? Ultimately, where do you make your money? Where does it come from? Does your broker take it out of their bank account? They have custody, right? So does it come out of the corporate bank account? Like, where does the money come from? From other people. Now, there are bulls and bears, and they understand each other. Left foot forward, right foot back. And the smart money dances around the market and to the beautiful music of money. And then there are fools. There's everybody else. Okay? You're a bull, you're a bear, or you're a pig. And what happens to pigs? They get slaughtered. How long have you heard that story, Daniel? Oh, good question. I'll get to that in a second, Jim. 3 years at least, right? Cool. Yeah. So if you're a bull or a bear, you will make money. That's it. Now, depending on the trend, one of those will make more money than the other. Both the bull and the bear will make money. Bulls buy dips in an uptrend. Bears sell rallies in a downtrend. In between, there's consolidation in which these market participants take profit. Now, along the way, during the bullish trends or bearish trends, you get pigs that are just sort of like randomly participating. They're like lubricant in the machine. Someone else described retail traders as liquidity events. When you are taking profit at the top, some idiot has to buy it from you. But you're at the top. You're at resistance at the top of the market. Some idiot has to buy it from you. Certainly not a bear. Bears don't buy, they sell. So retail traders are liquidity events. But I don't say retail. Really, it's just amateurs. Okay? Because you could be super successful as a retail trader, but you're either a bull or a pig, a bull or a bear or a pig, and pigs get slaughtered. Okay, let's get to how does the fact that the Euro Aussie is above the monthly pivot? Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Which monthly pivot? And this will answer your question, JP. Which monthly pivot? Yeah. But I'm done. You're saying for August. I'm not in August. I'm done. August is done. I'm in September. Okay? I look at this and say we're kicking off the central pivot point as support. Yeah. No, August is done. It's over. Ish kaput. We hit R3. R3 is profit taking. Right? Every single person that's gone through Investor Bootcamp knows that this is the absolute 100% take profit every single time. And now the next thing is we're asking ourselves, is this the reset? So this is what we're going to discuss today at Investor Bootcamp. Remember, all day traders and all swing traders are invited. Is this the new play? Could be a rabbit, could be. Young Wolf says, after all these years, you still talk about trading which in so much depth. Good to see you haven't lost your interest. I love trading and investing. Like, it's beyond a passion. It is who I am. But it's not the only, like, beneath that layer, young wolf, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay? So entrepreneurs you can't stop an entrepreneur's creativity. It's unstoppable. The only thing that prevents an entrepreneur from, changing the world is usually either experience, but more importantly, that is money. So you got to focus and focus and focus, right? Get more and more experience and then, all that kind of stuff. So it's like most people here struggle with fundamental analysis. I believe that to be the truth. And most people here believe it's important. Now they're in some layer of progress of how important and how to integrate it. But most people that come to this channel would agree that fundamental analysis seems to be important. So I'm an entrepreneur and I'm like, let's just automate it. I'll spend a whole bunch of time and money and I'll provide a solution to automate it. And then I'll show it to you and now you're going to contribute to the cause. You'll become a subscriber, you'll pay some money. But I paid money up front. I paid money up front. I had to have the vision, the passion, the drive, the focus, pay the money up front, and then now I can share it with you, and now you pay a monthly fee or an annual fee. Sweet, easy. Same thing like, oh my God, we should have AI like analyze every single trade before we take it to make sure we're not making any obvious mistakes. You're like, dude, that is a sweet ass idea. So any one of us could have hired a team in Hong Kong. Any one of us could pony up many thousands of dollars and could have spent 100 hours teaching a machine how to trade specifically like you learned how to trade over 20 years of experience. And then build a system in which now the machine talks to ChatGPT so it can communicate to you in English, not in math. Because remember, Aiden does everything with math. And then it has to communicate to you in English. And so you got to use now that technology. So really there's two AIs working together for Aiden. And then, and like anybody could have done it. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like, nobody's done that and I need it and I want it now. What's it going to cost me? So now we're at this point where I want to share it with you. And I'm then asking like, hey, will you chip in? And at some point I'll probably, I don't know, do some, have a sponsor or some form of advertising or something because I don't want to pay this out of my pocket forever. Okay? How many thousands of dollars up front? How many hundreds of dollars a month do I want to spend on this? Well, I'd rather just be the entrepreneur that builds it than I show you like, look what I build. Do you want to keep it or should I destroy it? If I stop paying the bill, it'll just go away. So I'm like, hey, but that's what an entrepreneur does. Why? Because it'll make us better traders. Hopefully it makes us more money. Sweet. But I'm an entrepreneur and you always want to get big. How do you get bigger? How do you get smarter? How do you get faster? How do you automate? Okay? And like, these are all just tools. Like, if I were me, I would build them. Oh, wait, snap, I am me and I did build them, right? But that's what an entrepreneur is. And so after all these years, I haven't lost interest. I lost interest? Oh my God. Okay? I'm building a hedge fund right now that can lower volatility by 40% and outperform the S&P 500. It's like lost interest. Oh my God. Like, you haven't seen, right? You ain't seen nothing yet. 20 years from now will be an incredible time to maybe sit back and say, I helped make the world a better place. Revelation says, make an affiliate program. Okay. I'll do that. I'll see if I can put it on my to-do list. But you see, like, this is what I'm going for, honestly. There were some other projects I was going to do about 15 years ago, and then COVID hit and some other things hit, and my life got complicated. But I did want to win a Nobel Prize. I really did. And I have interesting stories, but you'll have to buy me a drink. But I don't think I have time for that, so I'm just going to take care of people. That's my goal. The next 20 years, I'm going to take care of people through their retirement. America is getting old. America is getting ready to retire. And I'm going to take care of people. Now, I do these sessions in the morning, and okay, that's great. And I've been doing that for 20 years, so obviously I'm consistent. But the next 20 years, I'm going to do more. And I'm pretty sure when I'm going to be happy. And I don't think pride is a sin. So I hope to look back on my life and be proud of what I was able to do. And that's a measure of giving back to society, not how much money I have. Money's actually once you have enough money, money's kind of irrelevant. Like, would we, if I had bought a nicer Porsche, okay, instead of building QuantBox and instead of building TradePlans.ai, what has more value to society? Me driving a nicer Porsche? My Porsche's fast. It's nice. People love it. They gather around when I go places. Cool. But what benefits society? So I spend the money on QuantBox. Sweet. Spent the money on TradePlans.ai. Sweet. I could have a faster Porsche. You're like, Wayne, you're nobody. A Porsche's nothing. You should have a Ferrari. Well, I have 2 Harvard degrees behind me, but I don't have a Ferrari. And you're like, but Wayne, it's just arrogant pricks come from Harvard. Well, that's probably true, and I'm probably right there. But the thing is, do you know what that actually means and why I put it on the wall? Most people can't do it. You can't imagine how difficult that was. Less than 1% got accepted into that program. Less than 1%. 99 point something were rejected. Somehow I got in. And then of the people that were accepted, 60% couldn't even finish. And of the 60%, 50 or 40% failed in the first year of a 4-year program. It's too hard. They canceled the program because it's too hard. So where's my pride? The pride is that piece of paper, and I think that one there, I can't quite see, says I'm a tough son of a bitch that has focus, drive, passion, vision, and I get it done. And I run a business, and I trade, and I'm a half-decent husband and a half-decent father. But if you would love me more because I can go out and lease a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, like, dude, that's so easy. Oh my God, any fool can do it. Oh my God, what is it, $3,000 a month to get a Ferrari? I mean, that's it? That's it. That's it. But anybody can do that. That money is easy. That's the easy part. Oh my God. Now, the next thing is invest so that your Ferrari's free. Now you impress me. You're like, wait, how did you get this Ferrari? You're leasing it? No. No, I refied my apartment building. And I I got a better valuation and a lower rate. So I was able to pull out $350,000 free money. So I went and bought myself a Ferrari because that was always a passion that I've had. And I thought it'd be great for kicks. Love you, baby. Love you. Love you. Congratulations. I'm glad you had that opportunity. Right? So it's like, how do you spend your money? How do you invest your money and all that kind of stuff? So whatever. So I built tradeplans.ai. Okay. You can access quantbox.co and we can share that vision together. Cool. So am I still interested? I haven't even gotten started. This is just the first 20 years. The next 20 years, Young Wolf is going to be amazing. What I'm designing right now to take care of other people's money is incredible. It's just complicated to set up, and I'm learning fast, and I will spend time on it today. But the next 20 years is going to be 10 times better than the last 20 years. You ain't seen nothing yet. And with that, I think we should wrap her up. Hey, if you're a member of Investor Bootcamp, swing on by at 4 o'clock. Day trading group and swing trading group are all invited. We'll be in the swing trading room, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to you day traders. We'll be in the swing trading room at 4 p.m. We're just focusing on technical analysis, and we are going to do planning for next week. So this is epically cool. Okay. And again, if you share my vision for tradeplans.ai, let me pop that in there because this helps me take things to the next level. The next level is a big jump. So if you can chip in a little bit, it helps me. So I'm trying to raise 10 grand here to just be, to focus on the next level. Okay? So, hey, we're $104 into a 10,000. Okay? So thank you for that. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Cheers.